Hello everyone, welcome to our Medieval Dynasty Survival Guide. So today I thought I'd talk about, not necessarily things that exist in the game, but things that we would like to see exist in the game. Because Oxbow came out, and it certainly has a few new features, I would say. But there is a significant lack of actual quality of life features that I think a lot of players would like, myself included. And that's kind of what today's video is about, basically, is just the 5 quality of life changes that, perhaps Medieval Dynasty should consider having. And I don't know if they plan on implementing these. I know, I feel like Oxbow was kind of their last hurrah. I think they are supposed to still have a few more updates coming out. Don't know how long, how much longer they plan on spending on the game, and if they ever decide to make a sequel, which would be amazing if they did, perhaps we'll see these quality of life changes in that instead. But on the offhand that they find themselves with some spare time and resources, here's 5 changes that I think a lot of players would like to see in this game. And the first, and one of the biggest for me especially, is seasonal management. And what I mean by that is when you go to manage your little tabby here, your little places, I think a really good example is the herbalist hut. When you go to make their to assign their stuff, you can only do it for the season you're in. And I think a really nice change for this would be having a tabbed system or something where you could just access each season regardless of what season you're in, and then just assign them. So I'd be able to be oh, here's winter, you're gonna work on making potions. Here's spring, you're going to work on, you're going to collect this, you're going to collect this and that and that and that, instead of having to wait every season. Just being able, having a tab here that I could just click and then just be this is what you're doing in winter, fall, spring, blah, blah. And I think that would help with farming perhaps too, maybe a little bit. Or, other markets, other managements that, change each season. It would just be nice to be able to have that ability to assign everybody and then just forget about it, because otherwise, for the herbalist, for example, I have to come in here every single season and I don't always remember. So they might be like the last day of the season, I'll be oh crap, I forgot to assign them to the new task. So that would be a nice little quality of life thing that I think would just make this a little bit nicer. And I know the second quality of life here is a feature that I want. I'm pretty sure a lot of people want it as well, and that is the intensity. And it would be really nice to have a little tick that you could just be 0%, 100%. Sure, you can keep the percentage, but it would be really nice if there was a tick here that you could just tick on or off for management, or for for production, basically, instead of having to click these, because this takes forever. It tries to speed up, but it takes forever. And then if you have a lot of managements, you have to keep doing that over and over and over, and especially if they have different things in here. So it'd be really nice if there was just some sort of tick little thing that you could tick on, tick off, for your different production lines, if you will. And I guess a little add on top of that is to maybe actually have an actual slider that you could just click and drag. That might be a little bit nicer. This is precise, I guess, but it takes long, and when you have a lot of other stuff you gotta do, it's a little bit annoying. And these are quality of life changes, right? So these are things that are supposed to just improve the game in small ways, but they just make it a little bit more efficient. They're less pain points, if you will. So a little tick would be ideal for that. Our third quality of life would be tooltips, because this game does not have them. So when something let's put our header back on, because or our UI, which I don't think I have anything here, but if these icons, I don't know what this means. I mean, I do, because I've played the game long enough, but when I'm a beginner, I don't know what that means. I don't know what, I don't think anything else is different, but I don't know what these skills, I don't know what these mean, I don't know when there's a problem. I don't know what, then there's a little red icon that appears, or an icon in general that appears at the top left. I don't know what those mean either. So, having a tooltip where you could just hover over the icon and it's this is, diplomacy, or this is, this means your workers don't have tools, something like that. Just a little bit more information would be very helpful. And then obviously you can always have an option to turn that off, because obviously as you play the game and you start to associate certain icons with certain information, you don't really need that anymore. But like when you're starting out, you know, a little bit of information is nice. So having tooltips and then having the ability to turn those on and off is just, I feel like so many games have it. So it's a little surprising that Medieval Dynasty doesn't just offer that. They kind of just hope that you understand what they're trying to talk about. And don't get me wrong, like they have like other thing here. It says like, this is like no assignments, and that's great, but it's not the case for like every single icon, especially if you have multiple icons. So, you know, just tooltips for like those little things would just, I feel like, be very helpful for beginners, especially. Now, I guess it's kind of the fourth quality of life. I feel like that's kind of like more of a content thing, but I have to include it because it's a demand that I have and that I know a lot of other people have all the time, and that is some damn bridges. We need bridges. Because, I mean, where I am here, this is fine, but like back on the valley, you know, I lived right next to the big river, and having to go to the other side was always a pain in the butt because I didn't live too close to another bridge, so I had to go through the very, very slow water. So, you know, everybody wants bridges, and I'm on the board with bridges too. And it's just kind of weird that we don't have that, especially because like we can make roads, and I know they didn't always have roads. This was not always a feature available in the game, but it is now. So I feel like, and granted, I'm not like I'm not quite sure how their deving works. I'm a very like amateur game developer myself, but you know, I can't imagine that the mechanic for road building would be too different from bridges, but I could be, you know, could be completely wrong on that. It's just but yeah, that's a demand that I have seen from the player base very frequently, and you know, certainly I certainly echo as well bridges. And I was not so sure, but I was very hopeful that we would see bridges as the ability to build them, because I know that I'm pretty sure like the developers are aware that we want bridges because we're very loud about it. So, you know, maybe a future update, maybe something they're holding on to. I don't know. It would be really nice to have some bridges though. And then our fifth and last quality of life change that would be, you know, helpful to have in Medieval Dynasty is favoriting items. This is like a kind of like a, maybe it's more personal, I don't know. But when I'm in my inventory and like yes, you see these like little icons, but that means like it's in your hotbar. It doesn't necessarily mean like this is your favorite. So if I need to like find something, I have to scroll all the way down. And yes, again, like you have like these little things here to like split it up, which is, you know, nice. Love that that's there. But being able to actually favorite items in your inventory and then have those like appear at the top of your inventory would just be very helpful for like things that you need to access frequently, but doesn't necessarily need to go in your hotbar, if that makes sense. So, so like I just think that'd be, you know, perhaps a nice little quality of life thing too, just to have be able to like favorite an item of whatever sort, so you don't have to like keep scrolling and looking. And my inventory is relatively light right now, but like if my inventory is full of stuff, and it usually is, I have to scroll through all of that just to find the item that I want. So being able to like favorite something would just make that process a little bit faster. It's like a little thing, you know, not like too important at the end of the day, but it's nice to have. You know, it's nice to have, and that's what quality of life is all about. It's nice to have. But that's about it for my 5 quality of life changes. If you guys have any more, and keep in mind, this is more like quality of life. This isn't like content. So like, you know, it's not like more buildings, because that's, in my opinion, content. But if you guys have any quality of life changes that you would like to see the devs, I wish I could talk, bring into Medieval Dynasty, either, you know, in an update for this game, or if they ever make a sequel, perhaps, you know, something there. Let me know in the comments. Who's this guy walking up? Oh, he's a happy hour worker. Never mind. I'm just like, I'm not used to people seeing people on the roads. Let me know in the comments, because I would love to know like what the community is kind of feeling about. Like, it's just like the little things that would just make this game a little bit more efficient, a little bit more fun, a little bit less, I wouldn't say grindy, because grinding is really all about this game, let's be honest. But just like little things that would just make it a little bit easier, especially when you're first coming into the game. Because I do feel like there's a slight beginner kind of like hurdle where you have to jump to kind of like really feel out the game, and then it might just make it a little bit more beginner friendly, basically. But yeah, just let me know, as I'm very curious to know what you guys are thinking. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, keep surviving and keep thriving.